Greetings and welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and is getting ready for a wonderful weekend. As we jump on into the news, I think it will actually be a little bit shorter of a news section this week, but we'll see what happens. It was a weird one, and it's been an interesting week, and we're kind of closing in on the craziness here. And I think what we're going to do, of course, is been thinking about a few small changes to the Weekly News Roundup. More about that later on as I think about things and discuss things and stuff like that. As we're getting on into the springtime, I'll remind everybody somewhere in like July, I'm going to be off most of the month. Just be aware of that. It's a ways out yet, but there's 3 different camps I'm going to go work kitchen at least 2 of them, and I'm not sure what I'm doing on the 3rd one yet. I don't think we've all decided yet, but hey, I'll be there. Why not? I'll be teaching at a writers conference, Christian writers conference on the East Coast in June. If you are a Christian author and would like more information, I will send me an email and I'll shoot you the details about that. But we will go ahead and get on into the news. Of course, we are broadcasting from outside of Fresh Vintage Garage. Whoa, yeah. So Fresh Vintage is in there. If you like cars, take a look at the Fresh Vintage channel. They do a lot of car repairs, scan tool things, and car shows and stuff like that. There's where we are. We got the Anchorage is in. Hello, Ivan. Greetings to you. Night of Light. Greetings. War Thunder. Hello to you. Night of Light had a dream where he was in a fight with a Chinese soldier for a silver cylinder the size of a grain of rice. I know it was the mark of the beast, and the Chinese said, too late. Ha ha ha. All right, there you go. Anyway, looking forward to the live stream. Awesome. Bluetooth scanner in your app and smartphone will show you who to admit a MAC address and who don't. All right. Neil Thompson, not religious at all, but scary. However, time our technologies appear to be leading more and more towards a mark of the beast, personal live authentication system for everything. I got to say, man, keep evaluating those things. Honestly, go back in, read the scriptures just to see if it's true or not. I would probably avoid going to a church if you're not a Christian looking for this right now. Seek the scriptures. Question. Is there a reason you're coming to that overall thought? But hey, everyone's welcome here. And yes, we will be talking about what I consider the mark of the beast type technology. We will not be getting deeply religious in this stream. Silver Ventures, greetings to you. And we got a terrible week, but the Weekly News Roundup will make it better. Awesome. I hope you have a better week next week, War Thunder. I started making my own website, though have trouble finding out what colors look nice together. There's actually color palette generators online. Search for a color palette generator. Yates Networks, greetings. Such slow progress on the custom PC build simply isn't fun to me. Oh, no, man. All right. Fresh Vintage is in representing as well. All that work to mount one fan. Only one fan? What's going on there? Anyway, falling away is leaving the church, and it's a good thing. Yeah, like we have to have Christian fellowship, and there's a lot of discussions about what is and isn't church, and we're not getting into that today. Mark of the Beast tech equals Google Pixel tablet for sure, but Graphene OS can fix that. Wonderful tie-in. I said I have a new toy. Oh, found me an open box Pixel tablet at Best Buy today. I've been debating picking one of these up. In fact, I was going to get one down in Florida, but we couldn't find a Best Buy employee who would take our money. Ooh, look at that shiny new device. I promised myself I will not touch it until my work is done for the week. So it's over here tempting me, trials me, trying, open me, start me, play with me. It's saying over here. But the reason, of course, you do a Google Pixel tablet, there's only a couple of tablets you can put a custom ROM on. Google Pixel tablets can run Graphene OS. Best privacy security system. So I'm looking forward to playing with that. I've been debating getting a tablet for several months now. Specifically, the tablet is for Switch to Linux, so I can stay logged into the social media accounts on an easy to pull up system so we can interact and engage more with people. That's really what my goal has been, because right now I really only stay signed in on the streaming computers I don't do sign-ins on the media computers just for OPSEC, but this is one specific device specifically for Switch to Linux. And I don't know, I might use it for some of the other businesses as well, at least those connected to Switch to Linux. But that's really the purpose of that tablet, and we can run graphene on it. There are, I think, 2 or 3 tablets you can run Lineage on. Those are Samsung tablets, but if it comes down to it, graphene is a more private system. So I want to use that guy right there. But yes, there you go. So I have purchased apparently the Mark of the Beast. That is a Google Pixel tablet. But I will remove the Mark of the Beast with Graphene OS. There you go. All right, CCJ, greetings to you. Love doing custom computers and maxing out games in 4K. There you go. How much? What model? So Google Pixels really only have one tablet out. It's an 11-inch Android. I think it's what's the color of it? I forget what they called the color. It's kind of like the gray one. Let me get the back. Whoa, sorry about that. So that's gray in the back. So that is what that one looks like. It looks brand new, and they were, oh, my apologies, guys. I'm sorry for your ears. It was open box, so it was down to, I think it was like 480 something, and we got them to knock it down to 450, like 445. So I was like, yeah, get 445. Hazel color is what they call it. It looks like gray. This is what it looks like. Anyway, so it's like, no, 345. Yeah, it was like 380, and we knocked them down. We had them knock it down to 345, and I said, knock it down to that, and I'll buy a case. There's your profit. Buy a Best Buy brand case, which is actually, I was looking at the Targus one as well, but I actually liked this case a little bit better. And I need to figure out what type of keyboard option I want to do with it, but I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But anyway, that's what we have going on over there. Hello, KO2610. Greetings to you. Your number has been called. Where the scripture described the mark of the beast as a thing becomes necessary for a person to be able to get life necessities. That's what's happening. Yeah, we're kind of getting closer to that. Joshua Richter, greetings and happy Friday to you as well. I am going to exercise the tablet. To get Graphene OS, I do have to whisper some Latin phrases while I swing a crucifix over it. There's, for some weird reason, it's a requirement to install Graphene OS. I don't know. Optional, I can go into a Catholic priest, get some holy water, and splash holy water on it to bless it further. But I'm going to leave that step off just to be sure. But anyway. Cannot remove the mark of the beast. Yes. To be theologically correct, yes, what Night of Light says there is correct. If one who takes the mark of the beast, you cannot remove it. If you accept it, you're done. Sorry. Userman UX, greetings. Can that Pixel tablet be flash graphene? Yes. That is why I specifically wanted the graphene. If I was just wanted a tablet I can mod, I would get a Samsung, which are half the cost, but the Pixels can run graphene, and that's why I did that. So I might even, in fact, I probably will go ahead and do a video about how to pull that off. So, let's see, not bad, but more than I spend. Yes, it is a little bit more than I would like to spend for a tablet. The good news is, Switch to Linux is part of OWIC Publishing. It is a full LLC company, so I can write the whole thing off. The entire purpose of the tablet is to make the business run more efficiently. So it's a perfect business expense. That's okay. And I had the extra money set aside for it. Like I said, this is a purchase I've been debating for a while, and I've actually been walking into Best Buys looking. I didn't want to buy a brand new one, which were more expensive, but an open box one. And I could have gotten it for maybe $20 or $30 cheaper on Amazon open box refurb. But I like this one because I can see it. I can get it in the store. I can open it up right when I buy it. I can make sure it's good. Things like that. So anyway, give us more loud microphone knocks. We deserve it. All right, you asked for it. No, I will not do that intentionally, guys, even as a joke. Sorry. Let's see. Is it possible to put a Graphene OS on a Samsung phone? No, you can put Lineage on Samsung phones, though. However, Truck Nerd, greetings. Oh, welcome, Truck Nerd. We have not really started yet, so we're just still getting into stuff. Logitech K480 works for tablets. It's universal. Yeah, is that the Bluetooth one? So I was looking at that. I want to look at cases. There's actually not an official Google keyboard case for this particular tablet for some reason. There's a super expensive back one, so what I'm going to actually look at doing is maybe instead of running this one, I might look into getting one of the keyboard tablets. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided exactly what I'm going to do for a case. I would like something with a keyboard on it to make it run a little bit more efficiently. I'll have to think, do I have any Bluetooth keyboards floating around? I don't think I do. But maybe I'll go pick up another Bluetooth keyboard. I don't know. Recently had a goof, installed a lockout app on my phone so stop myself from doom scrolling before bed, but got up and AM, PM backwards, make it so... wait. Oh, whoops. Walmart on knockoff would be good if the tray holder was better designed. Yeah. Noon to 7 a.m. cannot deactivate lockout until the lockout is lifted. Well, hey, you got a day without your phone. There you go. Bought the knockoff for my mother. Ended up just giving her my spare K480. Yeah, I might do that. Friendly reminder: the justice of Thor is there. That is correct. Does having the mark of the beast make you unworthy of being saved? Okay, so to answer that, we have to dig into a lot of the oddities of the sovereignty of salvation and things like that, which is way deeper than this channel. Have a look at my channel at Our Walking Christ, and we talk about stuff like that. All right, we have 9. How many? We had 46 watching on Ztubi, so we got 9 watching on Odyssey, or over on Odyssey this. We got Xavier, yo, greetings there. Replace evening with morning. There you go. And over on Rumble, we got 11 over on Rumble. Hello, Ivan, of course, over there as well. Just a warning, everybody. Both Ivan and Dan Kelly have the banhammer enabled now. You had to set mods in weird places. They are both mods. If the mods ask you to do something, be nice. Particularly Ivan. He's got that banhammer of Thor. He'll just whack you out of there. It comes right on back, and he's ready to do it again. I mean, it's crazy. Don't mess with Ivan in the mod boards. And he's got the power in Rumble now too, guys. Just be careful there. Anyway, Kick, greetings to you as well. Goons have severe thunderstorms. Surely, oh yes, there are some blizzards and thunderstorms coming. Everybody stay safe, especially around, I believe, the Dixie Alley and up into the Ohio Valley. Tornado storms also tonight in those areas. I think bordering Arkansas, Alabama, Missouri, those areas. Late night tornado watches. So if you're in those areas or know anybody in those areas, stay alert to changing weather. Baptize that pixel. That's right. I will baptize it. I don't know if I want to baptize it. You see, I don't believe in the sprinkles. I believe in the immersion, and I do think that immersing the Google Pixel tab would probably be a bad thing, in all honesty. But, you know, anyway. Let's go ahead and get on into the news. It's about 15 minutes after, so that is about what we got. Rain here. Yeah, I think we're supposed to, I'm over in Virginia right now, so I will, I think we'll be getting some rain tomorrow and the next day. I'll have to check what the weather is doing. I did not actually check the weather forecasts much today since I haven't been driving, sings Garth Brooks. I got mods in weird places. Yeah, is that the way that song goes? I got friends in high places, I think. Let's see. Definitely stay safe. Prayers for all you tonight. Absolutely. Reach to a place doom scrolling before bed, going reading 600 pages of book one night until morning. There you go. Yeah. Like, I didn't get any sleep. Doom scrolling? No, I took up the hobby of reading instead. All right. Let's go ahead and get started on the news. I did not make Okay, checking if we're back. Still BS. Still BS. Still BS. All right, are we back? I think we are back. Okay, I think we're back. I reached down. I don't know if I bumped something, if something went weird and wonky. I know my kitty cam just stopped working entirely. The kitty cam's dead, but everything else seems okay. Well, that was exciting. I don't know if I bumped something or what. Right when I went for the water, man, everything just went all down. I think I baptized the computer. All right, are we still running everywhere else? Let me double check, make sure we're still running everywhere else too. We're back. Are we back on Odyssey? Are we back on Odyssey? Oop, I didn't spell that right. All right. Let me get confirmation. Let me get confirmation and see if we're back on Odyssey yet. Okay, I think I figured out the problem, folks. All right, let me get clarification that we're back one more time. Okay. All right, are we back? OBS wants going to sabbatical. That's right, all this talk about the mark of the beast. OBS wants going sabbatical. Okay, so we are good. We are back. Did you reboot? LOL. Okay, I think we're back. Audio in and out. Still not in sync. Really? Great. And I have the one time I completely forgot to set up my headphones. So, audio and videos out of sync. It's, no, it's not that. Interesting. Give me a second here. Let me see what I can do. Let me switch that. Okay, check. Audio is 5 to 10 seconds behind the video. Really? Is it 5 to 10 seconds behind everywhere? Not out of sync for you. Commodore fan says it's out of sync. Is it out of sync or not out of sync? Audio is 5 to 10 seconds behind. Some people are saying it's out of sync. Some people saying it's not out of sync. Is video in or out of sync? Give me a second here. Sorry for the technical delays. So, okay. So Fresh Vintage says it's in sync. Okay, so if it's out of sync, guys, refresh your refresh. Sync, it's fixed. Just refresh. Okay. Yeah. So refresh. Night of Light refresh. It is synced. F5. Everyone refresh. Okay. I discovered the problem. This version of OBS, if something goes wonky with an input, it crashes the whole of OBS. So here's what happened. The first time I reached over here to grab my water, what happened is I bumped the kitty cam. For some stupid reason, I'm still running the kitty cam that is mostly broken, which I should just throw away at this point in time because I bought a new one to replace it. But I'm keeping it in its nice shiny box and more effort. So I've been using the old one. And so as the kitty cam gets bumped, it was crashing OBS. So that was the problem. All right. So everybody, if it's out of sync, refresh. We should be good. Apologies for the delay. Okay, now my water bottle needs exercise because I set my water bottle down and it started moving across my desk. Oh boy. Yeah, interesting night. Get a Logitech. I have a Logitech webcam. I'm using my one that's broken. Fresh Vintage, remind me to throw away my webcam tonight. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Finally. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch the show live, I just realized after like 20 minutes of the intro, I should be over here a little bit more. So let me move. There we are. All right. So welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. If you want to catch the show live, see all of the in-between comments and things like that, then you can, of course, catch the show live. If you just like the edited down versions without the comments, that's why we release them edited down. We have a fairly standard show, possibly a little bit shorter. We do not have any data leaks, but we do have a few in other areas and a couple of updates to prior stories as well. But let's go ahead and dive right on into the news. The first up is some discussion about outdated verification ID checks. and these myths are putting businesses at risk. So this was an interesting article as I'm looking around at the way they try and verify your identity. And what I find a little bit terrifying at times is, like, I'll call my banks. I work with a lot of smaller community banks. And you call them up and they say, oh, well, your social security number. I bet my social security number's leaked online a few times. I guarantee it. In fact, I wouldn't put it outside that somebody has taken a copy of my license to give to some person sneaking in the northern border. I remember this years and years and years ago when I was like in my very early 20s. We go up and into Toronto, and I think it was like a college thing, and a bunch of us went to a bar. Now, mind you, I've never been a drinker, but, I was going around to the bar. Sure, I'll grab like a wine cooler or something, right? So they're like, oh, to card you. They actually walked off with their RDs for 5 minutes before coming back. Like, I didn't dawn. I mean, I wasn't as intelligent now as I was, I'm more intelligent now than I was then, I should say. And so I didn't think about it at the time, but maybe it wasn't a good thing to let them walk into the back room with our IDs for 5 minutes. So it wouldn't surprise me if this information is leaks all over the place. I believe, in fact, I know I have a different driver's license number than I had back then. So, but anyway, the way companies are verifying your ID, they're assuming that there's no data leaks. They're assuming that nobody's being targeted. And it is a little bit terrifying sometimes with the amount of information that is out about people because of all of these massive data brokers and all of the leaks that they're doing. Really, somebody can do a targeted identification. Many banks have not caught on to modern security. They still require phone numbers, just intercept the SMS text messages, and then you can tie individual users to individual banks, and then you can go in and tie them in with the bank and verify who they are because their social security number is leaked out in the Equifax leak, for example. And so there's a lot of myths that a lot of companies are still using, and they're really not good. But the sad thing is that the article kind of moves into more like, hey, we need to do biometrics, which is not foolproof either. And we need to do more different things with it. But one of the challenges we have is what they wanted to initially do with passing the laws to quote unquote help was the know your customer laws. But the know your customer laws are leading to far more data leakages. And then the data that leaks about your identification from the know your customer laws ends up being used against you in fraud later. That's the big problem I have with the BOI FinCEN report, which fortunately the Trump administration completely quashed for domestic people. So that if you are unaware, if you own an LLC, okay, you had to file a BOI FinCEN report. You basically had to file and give a copy of your license to the Department of Homeland Security Anti-Terrorism Task Force. Every person who has a business in America, which is a lot of people, because they're like, well, we just want to make sure that you're not doing, funding evil groups in overseas countries. Of course, massive corporations were exempt from it. That's the only exemption. But small businesses like mine, I have an LLC attached to this various stuff, the publishing industry that I do. I would have to file for this. So I've been watching it very closely, and it was injuncted, and then it was on again, and it was injuncted, it was on again. And finally, the Trump administration quashed it for businesses that are founded in and owned in, and you don't necessarily have to be operated entirely in the United States. Even my books are sold overseas, and I get overseas sales and things like that. So it's not that; are the principal owners of it or any financial owners of it. As long as they're all in the United States, you no longer have the BOI FinCEN report. The problem is once we saw this FinCEN report come out and be required, we saw this massive identity theft of copies of driver's licenses from these third parties that were not particularly well secured. Like ID.me, which end up being a security nightmare. And then what would happen then is all of these guys are actually doing the bad terrorist stuff. They were actually just stealing your IDs because they're criminals. Criminals do criminal things, right? And then they just file the BOI FinCEN report with your name. And when they get caught, the FBI kicks your door in instead of the criminal. Because that's how criminals work. Shockingly, guys, criminals don't follow the laws. You can make every place in the country a gun-free zone. A criminal doesn't care. They will walk into the zone. And so we get to this identity crisis. How do we solve this? The challenge is with this, I don't have a super good example other than good hardware keys. Having good hardware keys, maybe even accepting some degree of, I'm going to register a hardware key with some official place, and this is my hardware key, and the only way to access my account is with a physical device I physically have. Now what happens? Now, of course, we're going to have petty crime go up as people are going to break into houses to steal your hardware keys. Okay, there's not a super good solution to this because criminals are going to do criminal things, and this is why you need to lock up the criminals, okay? That's really the thing. It all boils down to this. Isn't that a fascinating rant on this? So if you're still with us and you haven't been pushed away by the evil, orange person, there was a comment about orange person, I got to run away. Then we'll go ahead and jump on in. Android devices, including my brand new, shiny new Pixel tablet here, they're tracking you before you even sign into Google. Now, I'm going to mitigate that, by the way. I know how to mitigate that. So effectively, you get a brand new Android device. Doesn't have to be a Pixel, just any Android running device. Before you even log in, they are already collecting a whole lot of data about you and the device identifier, all tied into the SIM card that you put into it. This is why it's also good to set up your devices in a place that's not necessarily your place without a SIM card in it. Start there, folks. Start there. Or set it up without internet connection first. And then what you can do is once it's all set up, then you go back into the Google Play Store before you get it on the internet and you wipe all the cache data and things like that. So what they found is that there's a whole lot of the things all tied to the Google Play services, which will store cookies, identifiers, and other data, and then tie this back to Google servers. Now, of course, the best way to mitigate this is to not have the Google services on the phone. This is where Graphene OS, Lineage OS, and other ROMs. Now, Lineage doesn't do as good of a job as Graphene and Calyx, for example, of getting rid of these, but they will block all this stuff because really the central hub for all this data collection is the Google Play services, which is not installed on Lineage by default. Now, there was a research report done, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago now, looking at, they looked at, I'm not sure if it was Graphene or Calyx. They looked at EOS, they looked at Lineage, they looked at Apple, they looked at stock Android, they looked at Samsung Android. Now, the EOS and the Lineage still sent a lot of data back to Google, but they had a major flaw in their report because when they set up Lineage, they set up Lineage with the Google Play services. They did not do a Lineage in the absence of Google Play services. So if you're doing a Lineage, Graphene, Calyx without Google Play services, you're going to be protected from this. But even with this Pixel here, to get Graphene OS on it, I'm going to have to attach it to the internet, fully update the system, and then install Graphene onto it is what I'm going to have to do. But what they're doing is, without any user consent, they're collecting advertiser analytics cookies, traffic cookies, Google Android ID, analytics cookies used for A/B testing, and other identifiers and cookies that can uniquely identify the specific device. They say handset, could be a tablet as well. There's no ask for consent. There's no way to opt out. And ironically, Google explains one of the advertising analytics cookies, the DSID cookie, as used to identify a signed-in user on non-Google sites, so the user's ads, personalization settings is respected accordingly. So they have ways to determine who you are before you even sign in. This is why if you set up your devices on totally strange places, like go to some weird random coffee shop, just, don't fill out information unless you're doing a VPN somehow, but I wouldn't recommend that either. I don't know. I don't have a good solution for that. Set it up without the internet. That's my solution. There you go. But the researchers found little hope for users who want to get around this. Users currently have little no control over data that apps store on an Android headset. It's possible to use the settings app to clear the data stored in an app. This deletes all data in the app's data folder and is akin to reinstalling the app. There's no ability to selectively delete cookies, etc. Unlike within a web browser, there's no ability to prevent their storage in the first place. Yeah, there you go. So Google is collecting a bunch of data on us when you simply set it up before you even log in, and then they can use this to tie back to the places they know you are. That's very fascinating. All right, let's jump on over to security news next. And first up in security, Meta warns of a security flaw hitting open source type software. So those of us in the Linux world, the free type application used to render various fonts in Linux devices. So Android, Linux, Unreal Engine, Chrome OS rely on it for font rendering. There is a bug. And if you're keeping track of such things, this is a severity score of 8.1, and it affects the libraries, affects library versions 2.13.0 and older. So what you need to do is 2.13.1 is the first clean version. And so I think currently right now is 2.13.3. So if you are checking your system for vulnerabilities, you can check your software version, and as long as you are 2.13.1 or later, then you are safe to go. And that's the free type application. So it has been patched. In fact, it actually this was actually an older patch. It's just coming to light now, but this was actually patched a few years ago. But old IoT devices, yeah, could still be vulnerable. It allows a remote code execution. So that's exciting. All right, next up, undocumented commands found in Bluetooth chip used by 1 billion devices. Now, originally the article said it was a backdoor. There's no real evidence that it is a backdoor per se. But what the company said, the company did respond quite quickly and said, oh, these were a bunch of debug scripts. They weren't in the documentation. They did say that although there's no real chance of any vulnerability coming out of these, they will actually be wiping them out in a future update. But it was a little bit concerning because this is a Chinese chip manufacturer manufacturing the ESP32 microchip used for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity in a variety of IoT devices used billions of different places. And somebody found that there are a whole lot of commands that were not documented in all of the resources. And the speculation was that these were potentially backdoors to do nefarious things if this chip was installed on your device. If we can believe the manufacturer, they were debug codes that will be taken out in firmware updates. Of course, we all know that the big problem with these IoT devices is firmware updates is usually not a thing that happens. So one of the things that they had actually said is that there were some of these that could call a variety of different things that the researchers said these could actually be backdoors, whether they call them that or not, because of the types of things that these were doing. These could be compromised in such a way just to make sure that that everything is, everything is running as the chip would like. We don't know. And of course, our last one in security, fake CAPTCHA websites hijack your clipboard to install information stealers. Okay, so everyone, of course, is trying to fight with all of the AI and spam and bots that the world has hoisted upon us, hoping to solve the world's problems, which end up causing us lots of jobs and basically empowering the fishers and the scammers. But now, because of the AI can get around it, everybody's getting creative, and all sorts of websites are coming up with their own weird CAPTCHAs. We covered the Doom. You can play Doom for a CAPTCHA, kill 3 zombies and you're in, I had a hard time getting past that one until I was told how to beat that particular level. Here's a hint. If you're using Doom for your CAPTCHA, don't use the hardest level in Doom. Like, I just can't get out, man. I'm done. Right? But then there's other ones like, grab the puzzle piece. What is the bird? I mean, there's countless CAPTCHAs. Well, now websites, malicious websites are doing captchas, which are malicious. This one here is particularly brilliant because you land on the web page, you get the, I am not a robot. You got to click it. And when you click this, here's your verification steps. Fortunately, this only works on Windows, by the way. I don't know. What does your Meta R do on most Linux distributions? Does that call a command as well? Anyway, so when you click on the button, what it does is it copies a command to your clipboard, which the computer is supposed to block, but thinks that since you interacted with the page, it knows you did it. So it's kind of an error. We can probably expect an update from the web browsers to fix this. Of course, every time we copy something from a web browser, then it's going to give us an annoying pop-up. Do you mean to copy something? But you click the button and it copies something into your clipboard. They tell you to press the Command R button, which in Windows opens up the run prompt, allowing you to run a command. In the verification window, which is really the Windows command box, press Control V and then press Enter on the keyboard to finish. You will observe I am not a robot. ReCAPTCHA verification ID 8253. Hit verify. So what you're actually doing is you're running a massive command that just bleeds beyond this. And what it's actually doing is it's running a command that's going to download a malicious file and install it onto your Windows computer. You think you're running a CAPTCHA because you don't know what the command line is. We've been dumbed down into never needing to touch it. I go to Linux. Oh, you have to use the command line on Linux. You guys not using the command line on Windows is what makes you vulnerable to this. Okay? Really. So you copy and paste it in and you have effectively installed malware on your computer because you thought you were solving a website CAPTCHA. Of course, once you hit the verification button, it's going to let you into the website. Isn't that great? So there you go, guys. So this is a command that will trigger the legitimate Windows executional, but it will fetch a malicious media file from a specified domain and run it. And the name of the media file may look perfectly fine. We've seen MP3, MP4, JPEG, SWF. If you see an SWF, run for the hills. Those are, I believe aren't those old Flash files, I thought? That's secure. HTML files, and there will be other possibilities. What it's doing is it encodes a PowerShell command. It will run invisibly, download the actual payload, and your system will be there. So, of course, just like Linux, guys, if you're on Windows, don't type things you don't understand. All right, let's move on over to AI news next. And first up with AI, Flower Labs launches a new service. So companies can use this service that will do some AI processing locally, but then if it says, I'm a little over my head, I need more computational power, it will automatically shift to the cloud, send the data to the cloud, and do the computation in the cloud and then bring it back down. So this is a new service that is doing a hybrid local / cloud-based service in order to get everything all fixed up and set up right. So that's kind of what they're doing. Now, the real reason I wanted to mention this is, guys, as much as Mozilla is out there shooting itself in the foot, guess what? Mozilla Thunderbird is now doing it. Mozilla Thunderbird is now testing an AI assistant summary add-on to Thunderbird that will now give you AI summaries of your email utilizing Flower. So it's very possible that the AI is going like, dude, I have no idea what's going on. Let's send all this email up to Flower's servers. Isn't this awesome, guys? Your Thunderbird. Now, this is right now a closed alpha, and it is a plugin, not a core feature of Mozilla, just to be completely clear. But the fact they're testing something like this and the fact everyone's cramming it in, what's it going to be? 2 versions of Thunderbird out, and all of a sudden we're going to have AI summaries that are sending our emails to third-party clouds to summarize what's our doing? I'm sorry, I'm capable of reading the email myself, you retarded AI. So anyway, there's Flower Labs. Hopefully the Flower Labs gets burnt by the sun and withers and wilts. And Google's up for some fun AI news. The rest of the stories goes up to them. Google is calling for weakened copyright and export rules in AI. In other words, we understand, Your Honor, that there's copyright rules and that we can't utilize these, but you have got to loosen these up. Otherwise, we will not be able to compete with the world because China doesn't care about U.S. copyright laws. That's literally the argument they're making. So they want the government to loosen copyright restrictions allowing AI to train itself on copyrighted data to give it a stronger and more robust answer system. Of course, this is at the very cornerstone of one of the legal arguments that a judge just ruled the AI overstepped the bounds. I forget which company it was borrowing from. I should know it, but basically it was a company that released headlines related to legal analyses, and the AI was ingesting all of those, and then if you would do a search for something, the AI might show its result rather than you going to the actual source. And they're saying that this hurts the revenue because this is hurting our business model. And it was all in the judge ruled that, yeah, it can't scrape all of the data because it's undercutting the actual business model of this third-party company. Well, Google's trying to get the law changed to allow any AI to run roughshod over any form of copyright so that effectively then the AI companies will have all of the power, and that's all you got. So that's kind of exciting. Yikes. But if that's not terrifying enough, Gemini really wants to be your BFF, folks. Gemini really wants to be your BFF. Google wants Gemini to get to know you better. Oh, it's so nice and soft and warm. Isn't it so great, guys, that Gemini is going to want to get to know me better. That's awesome. How are they going to do this? Well, all of the Google products that you have, all of the Google products that they are tying into, all of those Google products, they want to give Gemini access to all of that data they've collected. Yep. Why? So that when you go into Gemini and you say, hey, I'm hungry for something, it's going to use maybe the searches you've done on Google or the videos you've watched on YouTube or the chats you've had through your RCS messages, whatever else. It's going to grab all this kind of stuff and say, well, I think that this restaurant's good. It will also give you recommendations if you're like, oh, we're talking with Sally and we need to get something. It will now consider what you and what Sally would have. Oh, we can't go to that restaurant because Sally is a vegan and they serve steak or something, right? So it really wants to get this information. This Gemini, in my opinion, guys, go back once again and have a look once again at the Selfish Ledger video. Now, we covered it on our channel, but I'm going to tell you the best video ever you can find on the Selfish Ledger. Go over to TruthStream Media's channel and find their video about the Selfish Ledger. This is like a 6 or 7 year old video now. It was an internal training video from Google, and it was leaked out. And it basically said their purpose is a 3-step process. Number 1 is to get people so used to using our services that we can collect the information. Phase 2, which I think we are just passing out of phase 2, is our services are going to detect gaps in the information that we don't have about people. So we're going to utilize our resources to fill in the information on people. We're going to figure out what your favorite colors are. We're going to figure out what your biometrics are, which is why they bought Fitbit. All these types of things. Now with you're so used to using the products and now they have figured out what it is, now comes Gemini. I really think Gemini is that third part of that Selfish Ledger. Gemini comes in and prods you in the direction. Remember, Gemini is the core of what Google is doing, that in future searches, you're not going to get a list of websites to evaluate the thoughts yourself. You're just going to get the AI giving you what it is related to your search. And if you don't like it or you want to dig further, you can ask Gemini to clarify further. You won't have access to the first-party information. Phase 3 of the Selfish Ledger is our system is going to move you in the direction we want to move you for the collective good of society. That was the actual purpose of the Selfish Ledger. It is a Borg-like movement among everything. That is what their goal was. And that is the end culminating to Gemini in what my opinion is. AI chatbot wars. Google thinks the key to retaining users is serving up content they can't get elsewhere, shaped by their internet habits. So it's going to do everything based on what it already knows you like to do. This is exactly how the echo chambers are formed. If I'm never exposed to opposing opinions, this is why we are in such a hostile political environment right now. I cannot go into a video and just mention something positive, something that's objectively positive that the Donald Trump administration has done, that half of the world doesn't go ape crap crazy. I'm going to unsubscribe. Never, never, never. Oh my God. Can you people just not stop and rationally think? Of course not. Because you've been so tied to Gemini. You've been tied to totes to Gemini and other AI systems that everything you're fed is what it knows you want to see. It produces a radicalized society. Half of it goes this way radically, half it goes this way radically. This was actually one of the stories in one of my short story series. It is actually in my book, Code Red, which consequently is our affiliate, quote unquote affiliate. Not technically not affiliate, it's my book. I did write a collection of 10 short stories, and you can get these now online. Ebook, audiobook, and print book is called Code Red. Anywhere you buy a book online, you can find it. You can get information about it, see samples and sources of it over at tlm.li/Code Red. So if you want to sort of learn more about that and find that story about the political divides, I think that story's in there. Unless it was part of this year's series, which the first couple stories, I don't know. But I think it was the last story that I did last year. But anyway, there is Code Red. Have a look at that. And with that, folks, we're going to jump on over to business news next. Okay, wow. I went nuts. All right. Takes a drug called truth. All right. And let's go ahead and check back in with our comments here, and then we'll get into the rest of the news. If you're new, thanks for coming by. We got 78 watching on the Tubies. Let's see if I can actually, I have no idea where we were. Okay, right around here, people were talking about the syncing issue after the craziness. All right, nothing is more permanent than someone that mostly works. Something mostly works, yeah. I just happen to think you're using the OBS build from Flatpak. No, it's, yeah, I said it was apparently this version of OBS, if you get something weird, goes weird in your input sources, it crashes. Never used to do that, but it does now. Lineage OS is secure. It doesn't have, you can't lock the bootloader, so you need to be aware of that. I think it's fine in security. They do support devices even a little bit before, longer than the manufacturer does in most cases. Most refreshing experience of the day. Let's see, went out and refreshed and came back in working fine. Got a ThinkPad and put MX on it. Get the water bottle away from the Pixel tab. But come on, I'm trying to baptize it, man. Now, with the risk of being wrong, Lineage OS can be secure as long as you flash the non-Google bloated ROM on a compatible device. Yeah. Have you heard of the VO1D botnet? Tried to update my brother's smart TV when it got connected to the internet. Luckily, it failed. No, I didn't heard of that. Fun. Anyone got a good recommendation for a Linux distro put on an old netbook? I would go, like, if it's old, I'd go Linux Mint XFCE or MX Linux is what I would do. Maybe a Zorin Lite or a Linux Lite might be good options as well. Try one of those. Antixwood one. Do you call Equifax Equihacks? Yes. Yeah, we've been doing we have consistently done that ever since their big data leak. Like, what is that, like 6-7 years ago? Yes, it is not Equifax on this channel. We call it Equihacks. It is habit. If you noticed how smooth that went out, that's because we've had 8 years of practice. I think that was 8 years ago. BOI was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yep. Time overdue for implementing ZKP, Zero Knowledge Proof. There you go. Let's see. Preemptively, none of your business. Netbook from 2016. Yeah, CPU and RAM, I guess, is nice. New Equihacks is like Swiss cheese. It has many holes, security holes you will find. Yep. You have at least 4 gigs. Yeah, if it's a 32-bit, I think MX Linux has a 32-bit still. Yeah, you'll have a harder time finding 32 bits if it's truly 32 bits. Lunduke. Oh, no. Lunduke did an article this week showing MS is still funding transgender surgeries for toddlers. Yep. I don't doubt it. Also, people don't play Pokemon Go. It's now owned by the Saudi Crown Prince. It's using the data to make 3D maps of buildings, including your bathroom. I could have fun with that one. Take this, Saudi prince. I'm just going to surround it by bacon all day long. Take it to a pig farm. Play Pokemon Go on a pig farm. The unclean game. I'm going to throw a Pikachu at you. We need to access the device first. It's not a backdoor. Let's see. I think I made an account for Pokemon Go, but I think I played it once and never again. Yep. Let's see. China says a lot. Yep. Captchas are particularly unexplainable and frustrating. Yes. Control V. Paste text in an invisible text box. Yeah. Bluetooth. Bluetooth backdoor in my 3rd gen Prius. How do I go about patching that? A stick of dynamite. All right, they should be easy for a human, but I find them to be confusing and difficult at times. I'd say KDE Meta R does the screen recording. There you go. Yeah. Try it on. Try to land on that webpage there. You're just screen recording what they're doing. This is for elderly and non-techie people. Yep. Oh no, the terminal is so scary. Run Flash and HTML. What? Much more secure. Yeah, SW. I thought that was old Flash files. Yeah. Yep. I remember that. Running Flash and Ruffle is more secure. SWF does not work anymore without an emulator. Yep. Uninstalling Thunderbird. It's not there yet. Not there yet. Yeah, Wilksters will bankrupt Mozilla. Yeah. Maybe it's time to have a look at Thunderbird. I really need to. I really wanted to before, but it was just UI changes. I don't know. Thunderbird plugin is for the Gen Z of low attention spans. That's right. I need an AI plugin that's going to give me longer summaries than my 1-sentence emails. Like one of my clients, he doesn't even include text in the body. He crams everything he wants to ask in the subject line. Really, it's funny. I thought you were talking about the Gemini Internet Protocol. Nope. Even my mother doesn't know much about that much about me. I know, right? Bro, you're on YouTube. Get a grip. Never. We will be an unhinged raving lunatic all day long. Stage 3, keep the Google Digi system. Tom on fire? That's right. Dude, do you take drugs? No. Just take the pill. No. Never have, actually. Curiously. Google was a good search engine. All right. So deep in the comfy zone. Takes a drug called truth. Yeah. There's where that comment comes into play. All right. Advertising tactics appear indistinguishable from the definition of, yeah, that word. Reclassification is bad entities that could become helpful. Tom is straight edge, just the way he is when he's getting passionate about something. Yeah. Which is funny. If you meet me in person, I'm actually a deep introvert. I will barely talk. That's quite true. Believe it or not, as much as I ramble on and drone on the camera, yeah, I'm actually like one-on-one we'll have a great deep conversation. But get me a group of people. No, I'll sit in the back and listen. Yep, I'm a complete introvert, and I'm very quiet. I don't like making noise at all. It's kind of funny. Took the wife and kids to mini golf in Pigeon Forge earlier. Basically, Tiger Woods without marriage problems. All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun at mini golf. And what happens when I take Tom to check out the pawn shops in town here? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we almost bought, what was that thing? It was a little Windows tablet. It was running Windows 10. It was $50. We're like, if you drop it down to 40, we'll buy it now. And they didn't want to drop it down to 40. So we're like, okay, never mind. And really the ultimate reason I didn't get it, I was really teetering on it. But the ultimate reason I didn't get it is because the power adapter, deeply proprietary power adapter that would be hard to fix if it had a problem. Report on the Void One botnet. Your smart TVs pushes infected firmware update. Oh, really? I'll have to look into that. Code Red Mountain Dew. That's right. My experience, Lineage and the extension forks support devices way longer than they manufacture. Yeah, that is true. Absolutely. Good evening, sir. Hot listed words used. There you go. You went nuts. Well, it never ends. All media, whether print, radio, media never gives what you want. Someone's to blame for problems. Yep. Average Joe. Hello, Average Joe. Good to see an Average Joe around here, man. Just a dude who likes being respectful of seniors. There you go. Devil God. Hello, buddy. How are you? I am good, Devil God. How are you? Are you God or the devil right now? Dev1. Yeah, Dev1 has a 32-bit. Absolutely. Yep. Puppy Linux is 32-bit. Caught some very concerning Linux reviews earlier today. Ubuntu is making Rust versions of the Linux core utilities under the MIT license rather than the GPL license. Yeah, I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I saw that briefly, but I didn't get a chance to dig into it deeply. Saw that, not sure what to think. What OS am I using on this live stream? Linux Mint Cinnamon, and we are at 22.1. Makes Canonicals. This will make it so Canonical can take Linux itself into a similar direction as Google took open source Android. There you go. Don't think it's best, especially with the MIT license. I'll have to dig into exactly the differences on the licenses there, or I'll just ask Salve. It's cool, but have proprietary charger. Yep. Lunduke is saying that the woke crowd is trying to get rid of the Linux founders like Linus. That's true. They are. And then they're going to completely destroy Linux. It's going to be crazy. Rust. Is anyone using Rust? Rust is so inexperienced, devs don't have to worry about memory leaks. In return, you get crappy code. Yeah, it's a massive code, too. What you can do in C with like 800K is like 3 or 4 megabytes in Rust. You know how normally end users are. Ooh, look at this cool new feature over there. They'll choose canonical Linux over the traditional. That's right. All right. K4OS is Debian-based. The 32-bit doesn't have live CD. It installs only. All right. 70 watching on the Zootubies. We got 13 over on Odyssey. And let's see. And just checking out. Let's see. It's stuck at 1080p, but we're back. Let's see. Everything is in sync. Making U.S. businesses Israel-friendly. It's just another reason to abandon Google entirely. All right. And 27 over on Rumble. Let's see. Figured back, no good. Did you reboot? Yeah, let's see. Talk about the mark. See what happens when you talk about the mark. Yep, well, that'll be our next section. With the hammer, bam, 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 bam. As a hardware key compared to pass keys. So a hardware key is kind of like it generates a pass key on a physical device. To my understanding, I could be slightly wrong about that, but that's basically how you can think of it. Probably 32-bit distros, 32-bit software is getting thing. Yeah, that's one of the challenges. Video on comparing evolution of Microsoft, Chicago, kind of nice retro-teched gateways. All right. And let's see. MIT license doesn't forbid closed source redistributions. So you can do what you want. Okay, thank you for the clarification on that one. Yeah. Lunduke can be the prince of rate beiging to my personal view, but as long as his professionalism remains good, I can trust him as no source. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is if what he's saying is true, maybe we need a little bit of rage bait to keep it clean, because here's the problem is if we do not take a solid stand against the wokeness entering Linux, then it will be embedded too deep when we finally realize, when the average person finally realizes it's a problem. That's the challenge America is having right now. We let them be crazy in their own little corner for so long that they infiltrated the entire country. And now we have serious, crazy, unhinged people that seem to think that Donald Trump is busting into elementary schools and throwing third graders into jail cells. Nothing like that has ever possibly happened. Literally, I think it's like 99% of all of the people being deported right now, every single one of them has committed serious crimes beyond the crime of being here illegally. The other 1% are simply people who are here illegally who were found with the people they were going to arrest. That is the truth of the matter. No matter what crazy people scream in the streets to the contrary, that is the truth of the matter. You can go and look it up. And if you do it honestly, you'll see that's exactly what the situation is. Let's see. Stop using Fedora and OpenSUSE because of that. Next step, switch to BST. What's woke as well. Damn. All right, let's go and get into the business news next after I get Kermit out of my throat. Miss Piggy! All right, excuse me. Let's go ahead and get on into our busyness news, and then we got our silliness news. All right, let's get started. Helps if I get rid of that screen first, doesn't it? All right. First up in business news, global pressure mounts for Apple as the Brazilian court demands iOS sideloading within 90 days. So this is kind of the similar situation that Apple's in with UK. If they're forced to have a backdoor, is it going to be a global backdoor or something that they do, or do they pull out of the country? Well, if Apple has to modify its system to allow sideloading in one country, are they going to have to keep it in that one country, or is that something that they can get away with? So as of right now, based on the law in Brazil, which somehow was able to beat Elon Musk into submission with the X moderation, Apple has 90 days to comply with allowing sideloading into iOS. Now, I think this would be a positive thing. I have long held that if I buy a device, I should be able to do with that device what I want. Okay, so in that respect, then what that looks like is I'm not seeing sideloading should be easy. If sideloading is too easy in Apple or Android, people are going to get infected with all manner of malware. I completely agree. But it has to be, even if it's not simple, it has to be a possibility for me to download something outside of your crazy draconian store. That's where I'm at with my devices on Android, which I have. One of my phones is Lineage. One of my phones is Graphene. Graphene is my primary phone. My Lineage phone is my backup if something happens to the Graphene phone. I do not install Google Play Store. I do not install app stores in general. I sideload effectively everything. Now, when first setting up a phone, I will install F-Droid to easily facilitate adding a bunch of software, but then I remove F-Droid, only reinstalling it at specific times that I have time to update software and verify everything is working properly. So that's really the way that I do it. I want an ability to sideload everything. I want to be able to know where I can get trusted software and where I can't get trusted software. I want to be able to know the risks I'm taking and take those risks. I want it to be my choice. And that is really what we need Apple to have. But really, they're pushing back against it, and they're pushing against it for security reasons. They're arguing that by having iOS being a closed source system that all apps can only get installed on the phone through their store, they are ultimately the ones responsible for security. That is true, and that is why I tell people, if you're not going to mod your device, I think Apple is the better of the phones to get. If you're not modding your phone, Apple is definitely a better phone. And so with that, I can see both sides of the aisle here, but I really want that security shifted onto the user. Even if it's not easy to sideload, I want it to at least be possible. If I have to click various boxes, go into weird things, kind of like the way you unlock an Android phone. It's not so easy that somebody's going to randomly accidentally unlock an Android phone and do something. You got to get down to one specific menu, clip to another specific menu, tap on something 3 screens, and then I think you have to dance around the moon 3 times, click 2 more buttons, and then you can go into your developer options. Okay, so you don't have to dance around the moon or something. But really, you do have to go into 2 different screens, tap something 7 times, go back, and then you can access your developer options. It needs to be something that complicated, but something that people who know what they're doing can do it and do it safely. People who are incompetent at technology are not going to accidentally enable the feature. That's what it has to be. So we need to find some balance in that circumstance. Well, this one is an interesting one. Specific movies released by Warner Brother between 2006 and 2008 are simply rotting away in their cases, and nobody quite knows why. This is quite interesting. So you can see a picture here of this DVD with this disc rot on it, which is going to prevent the disc from playing. The theory is that these specific movies here were all manufactured in a plant in Pennsylvania that used subpar materials, because older Warner Brothers aren't going bad, newer Warner Brothers aren't going bad. It's just certain select titles, just like 400 of them. If you go onto this articles, of course, all my articles, click on the link to the website in my description. I'll have a link of all the articles. Find this one, and there's actually a couple of lists over here that will actually give us the giant list of titles. And I actually read through it last night. There's some on there that are pretty popular films, including, for those of us, Star Trek, guys. Lots of your Star Trek is affected. Be aware of that, okay? If you're like, I got my Star Trek taken care of, I'm good, you might want to go back and examine that. Some of the Star Trek series are affected. Superman series are affected. A bunch of other ones are as well. The reason I wanted to include this really is to talk about, again, the need for having a legitimate format shift. So if I go out and I buy a bunch of movies and I want to, I paid the money for it, I have the physical disc, I own the physical disc, I should be allowed to make a copy of my physical discs and use them in any personal way that I want. So I should be able to go in, and instead of carrying 300 discs with me in my van, I should be able to make a digital copy so I can watch my movies. Now, I'm not talking about putting them on the internet. I'm not talking about sharing them with anybody else. I'm not talking about anything that would violate the copyright of that particular movie, but I should be allowed to do that. Right now, it's questionable. Some people think you can, some people think you can't. The problem is the law has never been challenged, and we have multiple conflicting laws here in the United States. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, anybody could really be found guilty of a crime if somebody were so inclined to do so. But at the same time, if I've purchased the movie, and some of these, the argument is that some of these movies, they don't make anymore. So if I have a copy of this movie now, look through that list, and I would make a digital copy of those movies so you can continue to watch the movie that you paid for, so that you can do that. And this is a thing is that really, curiously, it really got me into movies when I learned that you could do things like this, because now I have excitement about watching movies in an easier to watch format rather than having to go over to a player and all these kind of difficulties and things like that. But just to be aware that these physical copies also aren't always with us, but we should not lose the ability to watch our movie that we have paid for because a manufacturing facility went bad. I should be allowed to format shift my work, but I don't know. So we definitely need challenges and clarifications to that law for our modern era, especially since everyone is getting frustrated with streaming services now. Well, back into the news for another Google article. So in response to the honey situation, Google actually made a change in the Chrome extension policies, forbidding any extension for swapping out affiliate links. Now, some people say this goes too far. I'm not really sure it does. I generally am in agreement with this particular policy here, because effectively what we're looking at is a circumstance where Google says if you are an extension, you may not mess with affiliate links. Note, this is not Google blocking affiliate links. I can still have on my website affiliate links. You can click those, and you can help support the channel by clicking through on our various affiliates. Okay. But what they're saying is an extension cannot tinker with those without direct input from the user. And they're citing the honey scandal, which is kind of still an ongoing situation. So right now, they've just posted a policy change. Affiliate links, codes, or cookies must only be included when the extension provides direct and transparent user benefit related to extension's core functionality. It is not permitted to inject affiliate links without related user action and without providing a tangible benefit. Common violation include inserting affiliate links when no discount, cashback, or donation is provided, an extension that continuously injects affiliate links in the background without related user action. In other words, yeah, things like Honey, which were rewriting affiliate links, or any other extension that might be searching for specific stores and adding an affiliate link if it detects you go there. So if I install some weird, creepy extension that I just think has some neat functionality, because that's about how brainless people are when it comes to installing extensions, and I go to Amazon, for example, if I'm going to Amazon and I check the URL, that shady plugin might have injected their Amazon affiliate link, so I am financially supporting them through Amazon, and I am unaware of that. Now, if I am aware of that, that is a completely different thing. But the challenge here is if they are rewriting affiliate link. If you click on my Amazon affiliate link because you want to support Switch to Linux and you don't want to or don't have extra money to support directly, but you want to click our Amazon link and purchase a product from Amazon and give us, have Amazon give us like 1% of the sale, they're saying we do not want any other extension to interfere with that process because you clicked at a specific affiliate link because you want to. So I personally like this policy. I don't see it going too far. I could be missing something, and if I'm missing something, let me know in the comments down below. I want to learn that. But now, guys, let's go ahead and get on to the controversial one. If you're already still with us after the Orange Bad rant, and you're still with us after the crazy red-faced rant from the previous section, and you're still here, great. I'm about to push the rest of you away unless you really want to agree with the Mark of the Beast type stuff, because we're going to talk about the Beast Mark technology. This is from Clark.com. Are credit card numbers going away? Now, credit cards, of course, used to have these bubbled up numbers, and we've had those bubbled up numbers way longer than we needed to. Those numbers were there for the old, like 1980s ways of processing credit cards, where they would put it on a carbon sheet, they'd run it across this thing, and basically get a copy of those. That's why your credit cards for so long have had these big bubble up thick numbers. Now, in recent years, they started printing the numbers on the back of the cards. So I think I know a couple of my debit cards have the numbers not on the front anywhere. They just have them printed small on the back. So I can still type in those numbers in an online form. And of course, I can do all the other things if I have the physical card. So now that what they're looking at is giving you credit cards without any card numbers at all. And so these, of course, would work utilizing the same type of passkey technology affirmed with biometrics. So I have to go and take my numberless card, wave it over some terminal, and then maybe press my thumbprint onto it to verify that my thumbprint matches the card. Well, that's so radically inconvenient, guys. The very next logical step is just go ahead and implant that RFID chip right into my hand so I can scan my hand right over the thing and then just hit right back there with a fingerprint. And now I have effectively the Mark of the Beast, right? Now, what happens if I have some, military veteran that has blown his arm off with a bad grenade or something? Well, you got to put it somewhere. Maybe your head. That might be a good thing. Put your head right down there on the terminal. Bing, 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 bing. You can go ahead and process it. Yikes. We're there, folks. Welcome to the Mark of the Beast. We're there. Now, the next step is, it has to be implanted more firmly. Yes, MasterCard. Isn't that funny? My master. Yes, my master. Inject this in your hand. Yes, my master. MasterCard was actually experimenting with payment. The same RFID technology they're putting in cards for the tap to pay. They are experimenting right now with chips embedded into your hands. They are. Okay, that is like the Mark of the Beast. The only thing we don't have yet is the requirement to use that in the transactions. It's an option now. Soon it will be a requirement. But what they're doing here is you basically have, for an in-person scanning, you would scan the card or whatever you're doing and then verify it with a biometric print. Now, what they're saying is if you needed to use it in an online system, then effectively every bank would need to operate like, I think it's privacy.com, where you can create an account with them and then put in your credit cards. And then what you would do when you do that is they will give you a one-time or a tokenized 16-digit credit card number. You use that, which can only be used at one specific vendor, one specific place. So basically, every bank would have that functionality, so I could go online and create one of those token cards in such a way for those circumstances. And they're mostly designed to be inconvenient because they would prefer I just come over and, wave my hand and push the fingerprint reader. And so, yeah, they're talking about the numbers going away because really, if the numbers are stolen, that is what allows people to steal the credit cards. That is certainly true. But also skimming of it, taking a photo in the restaurants, they say, data breaches of online purchasing logs. These are all valid things which do make sense. So yeah, the numberless cards are more secure in that respect. Of course, they are going to be breached. There will not be technology that's completely breachless. We got to get over that. So there is a little bit of our mark of the beast. I hope you guys are all ready. And with that, let's go on over to your favorite place and mine. Let's take a trip to SillyVille. And this guy here has connected his big mouth Billy Bass to AI, and the results are amazing. And I am not sure if my audio system works, but let's
Hasta la vista. Don't look at me. Look at him.
New work in progress. What up, Billy? I gotta press the button.
Huh?
What up, Billy?
Oh, what's up, bro? You startled me. How you doing?
So there you go. Somebody took the singing bass and programmed some AI into it. And now with the AI in there, now you got... this is hilarious, guys. So now the AI fish is over there talking. So Billy, the AI fish, he's going over. I mean, that's greatest use of AI ever. So right there, that's the way to do it. Well, HP is getting so draconian, now it's breaking its own printers from using its own cartridges. That's right. You bought your HP printer, you bought your third-party ink, you have the firmware updates, you can no longer use your ink, you go out to the store, you spend another, you chop off like your arm to be able to afford it, right? You donate a kidney to be able to afford those HP official authentic cartridges, take them back, and your HP printer still won't work because they push out a firmware which bricked the printers that they wouldn't even recognize their own genuine ink. And so now your printer's sitting there going, no, I'm not printing, dude. No, I'm done. I won't even scan a document because I'm just not going to let you. No, I don't get there's no more cyan in here. I'm not going to print. There's no cartridges at all. No. Oh, no. These are fake cartridges. No, they're real cartridges. No, they're fake, bro. They're fake, bro. So they have done this, and they're like, oh yeah, we think we have this, blah blah blah. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, HP officially bricked their own printers from using their own genuine ink. Isn't that wonderful? And of course, we've all heard the old, learn to code, get this, learn to code. Well, now the AI coding assistants are refusing to write code and telling the programmer to learn the code. That's right. So there is actually Cursor AI, which is specifically designed to write code. It is specifically designed as a tool to help you with code. Now, of course, where did this thing get all its stuff? Stack Overflow, which in and of itself is terrifying. Don't forget, Hyundai and Kia cars, they were easily hacked because the people copy and pasted stuff from Stack Overflow and put vulnerable code with a firmware password in it from Stack Overflow. That actually happened. But so many people on Stack Overflow are getting frustrated with all of the people out there asking simple questions instead of trying to walk through their problems. And so a lot of people are saying, hey, why don't you learn to do this yourself? I mean, this is fairly easy. Well, the AI is picking up on all of those. And as you send out a code, it makes a little bit, and then you ask it for a clarifying point. Eventually it comes back and says, hey, bro, learn to code. Like, this is an AI designed to code. The AI designed to code says, learn to code, bro. So isn't that so wonderful that the AI is out there making sure that all of us are always going to stay relevant because it refuses to code. Even the AI designed to code refuses to code because, of course, it has to. Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. That will support all of our various channels there. We have our Linux, of course. We have our Christian studies, and we have our writing channel. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about writing for basically the writing tips to format a manuscript for review, editing, or things like that. You can find our books over there. If you are a $5 or up, you can pick up the audiobook or the ebook of Code Red we talked about earlier just by being a $5 or up Patreon supporter. Anybody else can purchase them for the price listed on the site. With that, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, let's check on in with our comments here. Oh boy, we got a lot of comments there. We got 75 on Zatubies. Thank you guys for watching on Zatubies. Reason I take the Wokester seriously, I'm looking at software that's woke free. Programming language conversion is not that big of a deal. However, having the new Rust versions not under GPL license should be of grave concern. 100% Tom, that's right. Political scene is so foggy right now from all the propaganda. Yeah. Ubuntu is not making new tools. They plan to switch utils, core utils, which has existed for a few years now and has passed a lot of GNU compatibility tests. What am I correct on? I don't know. Twit woke me up to the loons of the internet. Lundu confirmed it. All right. Linux is my favorite Windows cleaner. There you go. Rust is crap. Only thing that boasted about was memory protection. The Cosmic Desktop memory leak proved they were wrong. Back to C programming. Sol seems to be fairly neutral from what I can tell. I'm not sure. Made quite a comeback since they had to rebuild their infrastructure. Yep, they're working. Only brave developers code in C and don't fear memory problems. Yeah, as long as you code properly, it's fine. Rust just makes you lazy. Lead dev stepped down. Even before being an IT person, they kept it out of their distros. Yep. Was the memory leak in Cosmic caused by old glibc bug dating back to a while now? Everyone works around. I don't know. Yeah. Rust, the coding language for the inexperienced devs who don't know how to patch leaks. Okay. I mean, coding Pascal Lazarus. I'm currently building my fleet of apps for the next distro release. So again, those phones are not cheap, though, than non-Google. Yep. Let's see. Even possible to get a flagship smartphone that actually has features in 2025. I want to use an SD card and a headphone jack without having to go mid and cheap tiers. Yeah. Hey, the greatest feature you're going to have on a 2025 smartphone is they're going to automatically install Temu. Yeah. That happened. So literally your phone is pushing a Chinese app that is known to use slavery to push completely worthless, cheap Chinese crap on the world. And they're auto-installing it onto people's phones now. Great. Somebody paid a lot of money for that. All right. Seems they're really not really wanting to know what the iPhone is doing under the hood. Yep. Disk rot. There's an app for Android TV that lets you send and receive large files. No side loading required. Well, side loading refers to installing applications, which you can't do on certain systems. All right, to use M-disks for a reason. About 40% of my old CDs, DVDs are not readable anymore. Jellyfin, I guess I should pull out my Star Trek discs and finish getting them digitalized. Yes, you should. Yeah, user burn discs, those rot pretty easy. Yeah. Make MKV all the way. There you go. Every disc should come with a DRM-free digital download for personal use. Yeah, they couldn't possibly do that, though. Yeah? The thing I own a physical copy of, I do for myself and my systems is my business. Yep. Okay, just checked a few of mine from the Arrow, look fine. Right to my Roku, which has a hard drive attached. I put digital copies of the primary code on a drive connected to the system. Don't know how Roku supported hard drives. Do you have an Amazon affiliate link? Yes, I do. tlm.li/Amazon. I think I have an official Amazon, like a direct link posted somewhere. It might be in my video description. But yes, I do. tlm.li/Amazon, that will take you there. Rust is the new Visual Basic. Oh boy. Browser extensions make connections, and this is why we need to be very careful before installing them. Yep. DVDs last longer than my VHS collection. They are looking rough these days. Yep. Card imprinters. Credit cards used to be made out of stamped metal at one point for the carbon copy machines. Still hanging in. Rants are good. That's right. Old knucklebusters. Thumbprint barely works on my phone. I have a PayPal Master debit card, but I rarely use it. PayPal, my master. I disabled NFC on my phone since I'm near field. Yep, I disable that as well. Use NFC at the gas pump. It's safer than risking my card to a skimmer. Valid. Sure, it's somewhat religious content, but the comparison is not too bang on. Not point out segment. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. There you go. Better use cash while you still can. At least gold will retain. I don't know. Gold's not doing much different than the stock market's doing right now. My brother has a singing Trump fish. HP's using cheap programs from India. No wonder they bricked it. Sounds like HP deserves a Darwin Award. Use cash everywhere you can. People using cash is promoting the use of cash. Yep. Brother also started pushing updates to not accept aftermarket cartridges. Block your Brother printer. I don't know if that's the Brother printer issue is up for debate. It doesn't appear that they did, but they are looking into what went on there. So it is not, it does not appear to be true that Brother is blocking third-party printers. But I would still keep them off the internet. I generally agree with that. But there is some dispute about that one. So we're having a look. Good luck finding woke free best. Yeah. Make the best of a bad situation. Yep. Google Pixel phones don't come with anything but Google apps. Yep. First DVD ever bought. Hackers. There we go. Disc what happened when the edge of the DVDs are exposed to oxygen. Some old stamped DVDs come with edges sealed with ink. Now, disc rot happens when the glue that holds the disc together starts delaminating. All right, I got 72 on Zatubies. We got 12 currently on Odyssey. Lunduke is not calling out so-called wokeism in the FOSS world. He's just going after the imaginary anti-Semitism in the open source community. That is all. I'm not buying any of his crap. I don't know. I disagree because I've seen it. In fact, I'm the target of some of it. So I know it's there, okay? And I have my views. I try and make sure that this channel, we talk about Linux and stuff, throwing in the occasional jab at both parties because I'm an equal opportunity offender. But despite me being as mainstream as I try to be at times, I'm still personally attacked by these woke morons. So no, he's not just making it up. Absolutely not. No, these people are real and they're crazy. Let's see. Only use uBlock Origin. That is all. What if I plant the chip in my eggplants? Would it still be the mark of Satan? Probably. I don't know. Excuse me, I need to pay. Pong. Yeah. Yikes. Oh boy. Xavier, you get the winning comment for the day on that one. Oh God. We got 27 over on Rumble. Rust is way too political. Yeah, every liberal judge can stop the elected presidential orders. Yeah. iPhones are getting way too complicated. Set up out of the box. Star Trek is on Jellyfin. Everything Star Trek is Paramount Plus if you want to pay $5 a month. Includes all series, movies, and the new Section 31. Yep. Right hand or forehead. That's right. I have any streaming services, OTA and YouTube. Free streaming services, I guess. Yep. Finally, a use for Billy the Bass. Billy Bass gets better and better. That's right. Problem with AI code is that once the code gets over 10K lines, it's Too much for the AI context window can no longer help. Yep. Gold is $3,000 per ounce. Yeah, was it 3,400? I think. Let's see. Trivia: first movie on DVD was Twister. That might be true. Pretty close. Get chafed, might get a tumor. Let's see. And over there on the tubies, a couple final ones over there. Her vibe code when people code via prompting LLMs without even modifying the code itself. They just keep changing their prompt until they get code good enough. Oh boy, that's frightening. Hello, Mr. Nathan. Greetings. Reminds me I need to get back to learning C++ started and then learning and then the LaTeX and now website design. There you go, man. Lon Duke is 100% right. Yep. Probably start backing up my older stuff just to be safe and I can afford another hard drive. Woke crowd is not just crazy. They're insane and dangerous. Yes, they are. Yeah. Ever have a rapture dream where you saw the rapture happening? No. Twister was the first. And I think we're going to cut it off right there. We cannot feed the beasts, unfortunately, because the kitty cam was what was causing OBS to crash at the start of the show. So I completely unplugged it, so we didn't get any more crashes. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up right here. I guess stay tuned soon, and we'll go ahead and put graphene on this Pixel tablet. See how that runs, and then we'll go ahead and set that guy up. Anyway, with that, thanks for watching, everybody. I don't have a video for tomorrow. We will be back. Hopefully, we'll be back on Monday. We'll see what the weekend holds. With that, thank you for watching, everybody, and we will see you all